Our new production facility is coming online. We spent the better part of most of last year, completely redoing it. It's geared towards aluminum intense vehicles as well as EV vehicles, and should definitely help us keep a forward advantage on not only the market, but also the upcoming vehicles coming out. We got Rivian last year, that certification, and there are other EV certifications on the market that we'll most likely be looking to get as well. And just trying to, stay ahead of the curve and make sure that we're able to service our customers and, do the right repair every time.
Well, welcome everybody to another amazing episode of the one and only Crash Course. The show continues to age. So do I, unfortunately. Although people tell me I don't look that old in my face. I have to say it's got to be because of all the olive oil. So if any of you folks out there are into health, being health conscious and everything, I strongly advocate getting your hands on some really, really good olive oil. I take a tablespoon of that stuff once a day, and I try and put it on every single thing that I eat. So, well, not every single thing. That's an exaggeration. But I put it on quite a bit of stuff, and it's really great. I love it. In fact, I bought some really fancy stuff from some guy, Dr. Gundry. And cool guy, cool dude. He's a cardiologist. So he claims he discovered, I say claim because, I don't follow this guy. He went to Morocco and he said he found some olive trees that are growing up in the middle of nowhere, and they're the hardiest things because it's Death Valley over there and they get no water and all this other shit. But I got to tell you though, the olive oil is like nothing I've ever had. All right. I mean, you pour this stuff out. It is like, I don't know. It's got a very bright gold finish to it. It's got a peppery taste. So I guess this guy's not bullshitting when he says it's got the highest concentrations of all the good stuff. Certainly looks like it, smells like it, and tastes like it. So if that's your thing, go check it out. His name is Gundry. Well, I think Gundry. Just, Google him like we Google everything today. So I don't know. I hope that's what it is. I get a lot of compliments on that. So hopefully that's working because that cost me a bit of money. I got a year's worth of olive oil shipped to me from Morocco. At any rate, I digress. So again, welcome everybody to the show. If you're just stopping by on your dial there and you're just checking us out, we appreciate it. All right, stick around, as we've been saying for the longest time now. All right, if you follow us, you are going to be the smartest person in the room, in any room. Okay, not just the room, in any room. Well, at least we can claim that mantle when it comes to auto body and insurance, and all kinds of stuff like that, right? And some legal stuff. I mean, I'm not a lawyer. Okay, so this is a disclaimer. I want everybody to get on their high horse. So if there's a lawyer that's listening, all right, I don't mean legal advice, but we talk about things that involve legal concepts and legal principles and things like that. So as far as I know, you don't need a law degree to talk about that. So we bounce around that subject also. And of course, like I said, insurance and auto body managers, collision industry, that type of thing, helping the folks, right? You know the mantra. If you've been listening to me and following the show, we love our mantra, right? Everybody has to have a mantra today. It used to be a cliche in the 80s and the 90s. Today, it's a mantra. And our mantra is, we are giving you information and knowledge you need and can use, and advice you can trust. And folks, everybody knows today there's never too much advice you can trust, right? There's a lot of crap out there. We know that, right? A lot of so-called information on the information highway. But it's more of the information disinformation highway, I think, anyway. So you got to really be careful. You have to really be very good at sifting through a lot of BS today, being able to, the old proverbial read between the lines, right? Which is funny because that was like a commonplace thing that you heard people say like back in the 70s when I was growing up. And I guess it's still, it's probably still around, right? But read between the lines. You got to read between the lines. You know what I'm saying? Well, he said this. Well, read between the lines, right? What lines were we supposed to read between? I don't know. But, it's a, I guess in some ways, maybe it's a metaphor. I don't know. I don't know if it's cliche. But, it's a layman's term for basically, hey, take a look under the hood. Remember that one? That's another one. In other words, dive a little deeper, okay? Look into things. And I don't think enough people do that today, right? And we want you to do that here too, at Crash Course. If you hear things that I'm saying or you disagree with what I'm saying or I come up with different, I throw out different ideas or different concepts or I talk about different subject matter and you're scratching your head or or maybe you're in the auto body industry, right? Or you're an insurance professional. And you're squinting at me and scratching your head. Go check it out, man. I mean, I don't claim to know everything, but I do claim to try and be as accurate, all right, and as realistic as possible here. Like I said, this is advice you can trust. So the things that we do say here, the things that we do talk about, the ideas, the principles, that we discuss, all right, that we advise you on, all right, certainly coming from me, okay, the effort is nothing less than, 100% truthful, okay, and all with the mission, of course, of, advising you accordingly based on experience, right, based on my experience, based on my knowledge base, and hopefully that, that stuff is, something that you can utilize in your own life, especially as it pertains to the auto body and insurance industries, which, we talk about at length here, right? And I know some people might say, that's monotonous and, it's repetitive and that. Well, maybe it is. Maybe some of the stuff is. But unfortunately, nothing's changing, folks. All right? Nothing's changing. What, Spikey? Spikey's getting all worked up, man. All right? When Spikey gets worked up, okay, that's not good. All right. And he's getting worked up because he hears me mention the fact that nothing's changing. Right. And what do I mean by that? Well, I mean all of this stuff that we've been talking about since the radio days. OK, which is going to be going on almost 3 years ago. It just doesn't seem like it's, I don't know. I mean, I don't know. Maybe it is. Maybe we're hitting more people in Oshkosh, Ohio. I don't know. I don't have any tea leaves or any, Excel spreadsheets here to look at to tell me, where the concentration is with respect to demographics or, who we're actually talking to. We're based out of Long Island, New York, right? Suffolk County, more specifically. So if you're in Suffolk County, you're in Nassau County, or for that matter, if you're in New York State, then hell, 99% of the stuff we talk about here directly applies, right? But I don't know if there's other folks that are following us, other folks that find us, that like the show, that are listening to us. That's great. We really appreciate it. We want to, I think a lot about what I say here, a lot about what I talk about, the different subject matter that I talk about and the things that I try and relay to you, either from things that I glean from reading, like today, we're going to talk about some stuff I came across through trade magazines and other things like that. And just, by the fact that I work in a very large modern day production shop, hey, I'm sure that a lot of that can apply across borders, right? I'm sure it could be just as applicable in Indiana and Ohio and Iowa as it is here in New York. I don't know. But I'm not foolish enough to think that, insurance laws and insurance regulations aren't going to be different, right, in those places. So if you are from if you do hail from other realms, all right, then, just filter the stuff out, right? I mean, listen to what I'm saying, but filter it out, right? And I don't mean read between the lines, okay? I know some people are already out there. Oh, he's talking about reading between the lines. Nope. No, I'm not talking about reading between the lines, because what we're doing here All right. We're truthful with the folks. All right. No BS here. So you don't need to read between the lines here. But you do need to filter it. Right. So if I'm talking about, concepts or regulations or things here in New York, you want to be, you want to run that by your state or your area and just make sure that, it's applicable where you are. That's all. It could be. All right. Certainly, I would say the principles that we talk about with respect to collision and auto body repair and even insurance principles, those tend to be pretty universal. All right. Those are industries which obviously reach across borders, right? They apply across the entire country. Now, again, more specifically in each state, they're going to be tailored accordingly, according to that state's set of regulations and laws. All right. But principally wise, all right. What do I mean by that? Principle wise? Well, insurance policies. Okay. Insurance policies for the most part, folks, I hope I'm not, busting anybody's bubble here today, but an insurance policy for the most part is pretty ubiquitous. All right. It's pretty, universal. All right. I can open up any insurance company's personal auto policy. All right. Now, I'm not talking about commercial policies or reinsurance or, any fancy instruments that are put together customarily, for different things. I'm talking strictly on the personal auto policy that you and we all have to have, right? No matter what state you're in, you got to have it. Those policies, if we took 5 different companies and we laid out the policies on the table and we looked at them, they're going to be, for the most part, they're going to all say the same thing and they're all going to look the same. Now, if you drill down into them, yes, some of the language will be different because of the different regions of the country that you're in. Again, and it gets back to state law and state regulations. But the overall policy itself, okay, is pretty miscellaneous. All right. They're all going to say the same thing. They're all going to define the same thing. What's a personal auto? What's collision? What's comprehensive? And that's because every state dictates that the policy look like that. All right. I didn't know that before I got into insurance, right? What the hell did I know? You're probably the same way, right? But it's true. The insurance companies the insurance industry is probably, I would say, along with the banking industry, one of the most heavily regulated industries, believe it or not. It really is. So, your policy is heavily influenced by the state that you live in. But the principles that are within those policies, they're all universal. All right. And that's why the language is universal for the most part. All right. So that's what we do here. Right. That's what we do. I want to get real serious here now. I want to talk about a couple things that just grind my gears big time. And if you've been following me for a long time, all right, appreciate it. Thank you very much. I believe our YouTube channel continues to grow. All right, so we're real psyched about that. All right, if you're a YouTuber, go check it out. Go to YouTube, check out Crash Course. All right, some cool stuff there. If you like videos, we got some videos there. You can see me. So some cool stuff there, and of course I believe you can see the shows too, right? So if you missed a show or there's something that you want to hear again, all right, that we were talking about, some subject matter, go check it out. All right. Podcasts, same thing. I mean, you can find us on Instagram, all right, on Reels. All right. If that's your thing, you like that kind of thing. I like it. I mean, late at night, I got nothing going on. I'm not sleepy. I start going into the wormhole, man. Right. You go into those Reels, and next thing you know, you deep down, man. You're doing that deep dive into the wormhole. And let me tell you, man, it's a dive, right? And you never know what the hell you're going to find down there. And you start, the further in you go on that Instagram, it's crazy, some of the shit that you start coming across. But at any rate, we're over there, so take a look at us there. Facebook, we do have a really cool Facebook page. Please go check us out at Facebook if that's your thing. All right, you can catch episodes of the show there as well. All right, so we're pretty flexible. All right, and I believe we're also, I know we talked about, yes, I think we're on X also. So if that's your thing, formerly Twitter, right? You like that kind of thing, go look for us over there. We are on X. All right, you can find Crash Course over there as well. All right. So what do I want to talk about? All right. I got a little solemn there. I got a little serious. Well, it's kind of what I alluded to earlier when I said that we've been beating the drum on certain things, and I know some people are like, this guy, he's talking about the same thing. I am talking about the same thing, and here's why I talk about it, folks, because honestly, there's a lot of changes coming. Okay. Well, first of all, there's a lot of changes coming for all of us. All right. A lot of changes coming for all of us. What do I mean by that? Well, artificial intelligence. Okay. For better or for worse, this shit is here and it's not going away. All right. I'm an old fart. I'm a dinosaur. I get it. So I look at some of this stuff and go, why? Who gives a shit? Why even? Right. But, I know there's no stopping it. Okay. It's everywhere. All right. It's ubiquitous. Okay. It's in everything, right? We pick this thing up. Now you Google. The old days, you actually had to Google. Now you put 2 letters in and the thing's already, picking up on 5 million different things you might be getting ready to ask it. So, it's just phenomenal, right? And, is it good? Well, I don't know. Some people say it's going to be great. I don't. And I'm not saying that because I'm an old fart, from the 70s. I'm saying because the old way, in my mind, is still the best way. All right. And that way is, people seeking people being engaged. All right. People actually talking to each other. All right. This is what I'm talking about. So, when I say that there's a lot of changes coming, right? Very, very big dynamic change. I know we've all been through a lot of it already, but what's coming down the pike is even worse. I'm going to use the word worse. Younger people will probably say, oh, it's cool, man. It's going to be great. We'll see. And it's going to impact the auto body industry. It already is deeply impacting the auto body industry. And it's also deeply impacting the insurance industry. And the insurance industry, what do? Okay. Well, they look for ways to cut costs when, where, and often, right? You've heard me say this over and over and over again. But unfortunately, folks, it's so true. And I continue to see it on a daily basis working at V&J Auto Body. Okay. Speaking of V&J Auto Body, V&J Auto Body is and continues to be one of our amazing sponsors here at Crash Course. And we can't say enough about those guys. My hat's off to Chandler and James Verone. Thank you very much for continuing to support us as we continue to grow and expand our audience. All right. And hopefully continue to inform people on very important things that most of us don't really think about, right? We don't think about it until it happens. And then you're like, oh shit, where do I go? Who do I talk to? How do I interact with the insurance company? All that stuff. But V&J Auto Body is, I work there, okay? I've been there for 10 years. It is a phenomenal body shop. Folks, V&J Auto Body is a trendsetter. They are an industry standard setter, okay, and an industry leader, all right? I would say V&J Auto Body, along with maybe 2 other shops, okay? And that's saying a lot out of Long Island, New York, okay, are amongst the trailblazers. Okay, go check it out. Go to VandJAutobody.com. There's a virtual tour there. Folks, I can't say enough about this place. And not because I work there, all right, but because I've been involved in this industry over 30 years now, right? 20 some odd years on the insurance, 10 years on the auto body. And they are just so well positioned to represent your interest, okay? Represent your your interest to the insurance company, okay? Repair your car the way you want to, not the way somebody else does, especially the insurance guys. All right, and what's very important is that they do and continue to invest money, okay, in people through training, through workplace enhancements, okay? They have a phenomenal benefits package. This is a body shop, folks. All right, think about it. They have a 401, full benefits, okay? Full benefits, 401, company matched, All right. They match up to a certain percentage point, what you put in. Great vacation package. All right. A great work environment. Okay. In fact, we just started this summer. All right. We're doing 10-hour days and 4-day work weeks. All right. So again, both sides of the equation here, right? They're looking at the human side and the technology side. That's V&J Auto Body. Folks, where else do you want to be if you find yourself in an accident and you have to have your car fixed? You got to go to V&J Auto Body. Okay, V&J Auto Body is conveniently located right in southwest Suffolk County in good old Lindenhurst. All right, we have a split facility. Up by me, we have the reception, inspection center, and detail center. All right, and then about a mile or so south of us, still in Lindenhurst, is our amazing production center. Brand new 50,000 square foot facility, 25,000 square foot original facility. Just phenomenal thing to see. Go to VandJAutobody.com. Folks, can't say enough. V&J Auto Body, state-of-the-art equipment, state-of-the-art personnel. All right, professional through and through. These are the folks that are going to fix your car the right way. All right, consistent with the manufacturer. They're going to represent your interests. All right, and they're going to be with you from the beginning to the end. All right, so if you need that kind of work, you go to V&J Auto Body. We'll give them a call at 631-226-0070. That's V&J Auto Body for all of your insurance and collision needs. All right, so we got a little plug in there for those guys. So now to get back on what we were touching on here when I said I was going to get a little serious here today. Folks, there is so much going on, right? With all this technology that's getting rammed down our throats. It seems like every 6 months there's some other shit that's coming down. And it's impacting every industry. All right. Well, it's really impacting the insurance industry. All right. And the auto body industry. And not in a good way for you and me. Really good for them. Not too good for you and me. All right. Which is another reason, folks, you never, well, maybe never is a strong word. You do not, as a general rule, want to allow the insurance company to dictate where your car gets repaired. I can't say it enough. All right. I've been saying it. I will continue to say it until the show either ends or I end. Hopefully the other happens first. At any rate, seriously, folks. So we just had a Tesla customer come to us. All right. Tesla customer came to us, had the car fixed at an Allstate shop. All right. Their adjuster came out. Now listen up. Okay. Listen up. This is serious shit. Their adjuster came out, looked at the car, blah, 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 and said, hey, you got to go. Not only that, there must have been something nefarious going on here. This person lived in I think 35, 40 miles away and told them to take their car all the way to some other shop that was way away from where they lived. Said it was a certified shop. They're not. They were not a Tesla certified shop. So he bullshitted her. She sent the car over there. Now the car's not running right. We get the car. All right. V&J, don't know this person from anywhere. She comes in all upset. I found you guys online. You're a certified facility. Allstate told me to go over here. I went over there. The guy screwed my car up. Long story short, right? We got to invest almost 10 grand now to return this car to pre-loss condition because the jackasses at the Allstate shop who had no business touching the car, okay, did not repair the car consistent with the manufacturer, among other things. I don't really know what the hell they did with this car. I got a lot of ideas. All right. So now she's with us and we got Allstate involved and all this other crap and blah, blah, blah. The moral of the story here is, folks, if you go to an insurance body shop, this is what could happen. Okay, now this poor lady has to leave a car with me. We have to get in the weeds with Allstate to try and straighten this all out. We have to bill Allstate, who then in turn is going to bill the shop to get their money back. All right, and we have to do all these corrective repairs. This lady is out of her car again. She's probably out of rental now. All right, this is a nightmare. Okay, this is a horror story when it comes to auto body and insurance. All right, and this is the type of horror show that's going to come to you if you take your car to an insurance company body shop. It's all bullshit, folks. Okay, all bullshit. They cannot dictate where you bring your car, and they're going to give you all kinds of crap story. Oh, listen, blah, blah, blah. You have to send us photos of your damage. And we have a shop over here. Bullshit. You tell them, listen, man, I know my rights. I listened to the guy on Crash Course. All right? And he told us what's really going on here. And I don't have to comply. You do not have to comply. Folks, this is what I started to say earlier when I said I want to get very serious here. I want to get very solemn. All right? Because this is starting to happen so much now. And then people come to me. They come to V&J. And I tell them the bad news. And they're like, what do you mean? Well, you sent photos in. And now you're asking me to help you. I can't help you. Okay? Or worse, like this poor lady, you listened to them and you took your car to one of their shops, one of their bozos, and they fixed the car the way they thought they should fix it because it makes Allstate or State Farm or Progressive or pick any one of the circus. It makes them happy. All right? The hell with you. It makes them happy. And so because they're making them happy, which is their master, right? If you agree to work for the insurance company, that's your master. They're feeding you work and indirectly paying you. So you're going to do their bidding. Now, I know if there's guys out there right now that are DRPs, I know they're all waving their hands or maybe giving me the thing. Fuck, this guy isn't bullshit. Okay. Been on the insurance side, guys, for 27 years. All right. Got involved with the DRP program for a short while. I know all about it. All these contracts. All right. They're all smoke and mirrors. There's all incentives in there for do things for less, speed up the repair, get the car out the door, use shit parts. All right. Don't blend panels, all this stuff. Folks, trust me, you do not want to be part of this. You don't want to find yourself in the middle of this. Having an accident is distressing enough, all right? Getting in a car accident's no joke. Where you get your car fixed shouldn't be either, all right? So if you find yourself in that predicament, all right, give V&J a call, all right? If you're on Long Island, especially in Suffolk County, and you have a car accident and you need to get body damage, you need to have your car collision repaired, call V&J Auto Body, please. All right? Don't become another victim of the insurance industry. Ignorance is not bliss. All right? I used to say that. Ignorance is not bliss in this industry, folks. Okay? It might be in other things. Certainly not in this. All right? So before we wrap up the show, all right, a couple more things here. I'm just going to... What's that? Uh-oh. Spikey's getting all... Spike, what's that? Listen, when you hear Spike... All right? A little gimmick there for the show. I don't want anybody to think I'm losing my marbles. Listen up. All right? Folks, you have to stop taking pictures of your damaged car and sending them to the insurance company. You got to stop. Okay? I don't see it slowing down. I don't know why. All right? There's nothing in your policy that says you have to do that. In fact, you shouldn't do it. And when you do it, two things happen. One, those become the property of the insurance company. Two, you lose control of your own claim. They gain all the control, you lose control. Then you come to me, V&J, and you ask, hey, I got a lot of money I got to pay because I'm a jackass and I told the insurance company I would pay $1,000, but I really don't want to pay $1,000, right? Right? Hello? Okay. Deductible. I talked about that. Check it out a couple shows ago. Well, long time ago. But you could check out the episode we did. I think we might have been on the radio when we did that one about deductibles. But at any rate, folks, listen up, man. All right? Come on. Deductibles, give me a break. No, none of us expect to pay that. Nobody's paying that. Come on. All right? Everybody that comes in my shop, after all the pleasantries are exchanged and all the administrative bullshit is straightened out, you know what I get? Yes, I have a $1,000 deductible. Uh-huh. Can we do anything with that? Bingo! There it is. And the truth shall set you free. Cracks me up, right? And there's a little line right out of Liar Liar. That's great, man. No problem. Love to help you. However, you already decided to help the insurance company by sending photos. Okay. Look, I'm not saying don't take pictures. All right? I get it. If you're lawyering up or anything, or God forbid you got injured, I get it. Take some photos. Your lawyer might want them. You take pictures of the scene. You know what's funny? Everybody takes This cracks me. Everybody takes pictures, right? Close-up pictures, pictures of the other guy, pictures of the car. Nobody ever thinks to take a picture of the fucking intersection or the scene. Folks, you want to help yourself with photos? Take a picture of the scene. Take a picture of when the accident happened. That's going to help you. Don't worry about the jackass's car and his dent and his banged up fender. Who gives a shit? Everybody else is going to see that. You want to do something with photos? Take a picture of the scene. What does it look like? Where was your car when it got hit? Hopefully maybe they're in the same position. Is there a stop sign? Is there a traffic light? Is there a turn lane? Is there a railroad? Is there a blinking light? Is there a left turn signal? This is stuff that's like really important. There's Spiky. Remember, when you hear Spiky, means listen up. Folks, that's important shit. Take a picture of that. Nobody does. Instead, I'm going to take a picture of my car and send it in. Then I'm going to go to V&J and say, I just remembered I don't actually have my deductible to pay. I mean, folks, it doesn't work like that, okay? Stop doing it. All right? And really, I mean, on a very serious note here, you're contributing to the elimination of jobs. Now, I don't know if you like that. Think that's cool? Think that's great? Yeah, we're going to wipe out some jobs. I'm all on board for that, man. All right? I'm not. Okay? These are high-paying jobs with very skilled people, all right, who are licensed and trained to look for things that you're not. All right? And this is what's going on. All right. They're using you to eliminate jobs. They're using you to eliminate people like me who used to, when I worked for the insurance industry, they're high paying jobs, great jobs. You can raise a family on it, buy a home. All right. You get a company car, great benefits, all 9 yards, right? Career movement. They're eliminating jobs, folks, and you're helping them. All right. So please. All right. Let's all take a step back, take a deep breath, start thinking about really what the hell's going on here. All right, this digital world, digital bullshit, it's not working. Okay, got less privacy, less liberty, and more aggravation. All right, that don't add up to anything good for me. Okay, and trust me, when it comes to the insurance company, you don't want them having anything they don't need to have, and they don't need to have pictures of your car because you're either going to have the body shop do it, all right, which ain't going to happen with V&J, but some other jackass out there will volunteer to do it. All right. Or they're going to send out an adjuster. They're going to send out a licensed adjuster, either an independent or their guy. And that's fine. That's the process. All right. He documents the damage and then negotiates it faithfully, ethically, hopefully. That's not even, they're even destroying that. And then we come to an agreed price. But you sending photos in does nothing. Nothing for you, everything for them. And it ties my hands. And what it does is it also, folks, I've said this before. I'm going to tell you again. I don't mean to be, waving the flag of intrepidation here. But anything you send to these guys can be used against you. All right, and they're not going to tell you they're opening an investigation. Hi, Mr. Jones, thanks for those photos because now we're investigating the shit out of you. All right, no, that's not how it works. All right, so you got to be careful. Right? Thomas Jefferson once told us, be careful of the thing that you embrace and love so dearly today because it may be the very thing that destroys you tomorrow. That's true. I don't know if it's exactly that he said, but I'm sure I just paraphrased it, but go check it out. All right. I'm a big Thomas Jefferson fan. Smart guy. He was smart beyond his years and very philosophical guy. And that applies here, folks. Okay, everybody thinks it's so cool, so good. Oh, I got a phone. You got a phone? First thing they tell you, do you have a phone? No shit. No, I don't actually. I've been living on Mars and I just got back. I mean, come on. Of course we have a phone. Everybody's got a phone, right? That's the door opening. Do you have a phone, Mr. Jones? Could you grab a few photos? No, not for you. That should be your answer. All right. So we're going to end it up there. Folks, really, though, on a very, very serious note, though, please, all right, if you're within the sound of my voice, all right, and you listen to this show and you've been following me, you got to spread the word, folks. Don't take photos and send them to the insurance company, all right? And the other thing, of course, is never, ever have you? Well, I shouldn't say never. I'm gonna qualify that right here before I get off the show. You should avoid at all costs having your car repaired at a insurance sponsored shop or a direct repair shop. Right, worst thing you can ever get involved with. Now, the reason why I don't say never. Now, listen up. Okay, reason why I don't say never. Listen up. Okay, when you hear that, listen up. There is one and one only specific incident where this may be beneficial. If you find yourself in another state and you're in an accident, right? You don't know shit from Shiola over there. That is one instant where I could see where their direct repair program could be of a service to you, right? Because, I mean, God forbid, you're in the middle of nowhere, you're in a state you're not familiar, and you just, you drive your car into Tricky Dick's Auto Body. And, he fixes it up and you get home and a year later, shit's falling off. The paint's bubbling, bumpers are flying off at 60 miles an hour. So, you don't want that, right? Nobody wants it. I don't want that. You don't want that. Nobody wants that, right? It's not good for anybody. So that's the one incident where that might work. Other than that, especially if you live here in New York and you live on Long Island or you live upstate or any other place in New York State, you should never go to an auto body shop that's sponsored by an insurance company or that has an agreement with an insurance company. And I don't give a crapo or what some guy out there watching me is probably screaming at the camera saying, he's full of shit, blah, blah, blah. Nah, I'm not. Okay. I worked in a couple DRP shops. I know what goes on. And trust me, man, you don't have somebody's back. Okay. You do to a certain extent. And then things go sideways. Then you get confused. All right. You don't know who to stand up for. All right, man. I hope everybody got something out of that. And, we might have a really cool guest. A gentleman by the name of Ed. He represents a pretty big association here on Long Island. You might have heard of it. LIABRA, Long Island Auto Body Men's Association. All right, so we've been chatting a little bit, and I'm looking to get him on the show. It could be next week. It might be in 2 weeks, so stay tuned. All right. That's going to be a really cool show. We got a lot of shit to unpack with that guy, right? All right, everybody. Keep it cool. Keep it safe.